Well, hello and welcome to our ongoing interview series, Behind the Scenes. I'm Bruce Sussman, Director of Content here at SecureWorld, and your host today. And I am joined by Arun Gandhi and Mariya Saakyants. At least, Mariya, I think that's how you say your last name. How close did I get?
You're almost there, but my name is Mariya Saakyants. Nice to meet you guys.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Well, both of you from OneTouchio, fantastic to have you with us. And I would like to start, Arun, turn the first question to you. Can you unpack for us a little bit about what OneTouchio does for members of the audience who may be unfamiliar with your organization?
Thanks, Bruce, and thanks for the question. As you know, data is everywhere and at the heart of every organization across all types of infrastructures, applications, cloud, and on-premise. With large amounts of data moving across the organization, it makes it very difficult to know where the sensitive data is at any instance of time. So what OneTouch.io does, it empowers enterprises with an AI-based platform for sustainable discovery and management of data in their ecosystem for privacy, security, and data governance. The companies we are talking to have petabytes levels of data. Understanding where an organization's sensitive data resides helps to understand better how the controls are for managing the risk. Our flagship platform, Inventor, is the cutting-edge data discovery and classification platform that provides automated, near real-time discovery, mapping, and tracking of all sensitive data at enterprise scale. We automatically discover and analyze all data usage and lineage, even if you have no idea where you have your data and where it is located. From what I understand, every company has different set of security controls that can leverage this data asset information for risk management, controls assessment, incident response, and privacy management.
Thank you very much. I mean, that paints a very clear picture. So my next question then, just kind of following on that explanation, how does your product, your services, how do they help continuously, assess explicit risk and trust levels within an enterprise?
Great question there, Bruce. So what Inventor provides sustainable data discovery by discovering sensitive data across the enterprise, categorizes and organizes the information based on the business use of that data. Each organization needs to understand their risk appetite and calibrate their risk tolerance to leverage this information in their environment. Inventor assumes zero trust in data input, and we will determine where to scan in a given environment to support a zero trust approach. The platform uses a unique and proprietary passive network packet capture process to identify PIIs flowing through the organization. It enables the organization to identify repositories such as databases, applications, file systems, log files, etc., where PIIs reside or may reside. Inventor can use packets from TAP, SPAN, or other sniffers. There's no specific pre-processing required before sending this traffic to Inventor. Moreover, the process is out of band and therefore has no impact on production network traffic. The platform then comprehensively scans those repositories to get full visibility into the depth and breadth of the PII. Finally, it analyzes and consolidates the data identified as a result of those scans in a structure that allows the users to see the data lineage, respond to the subject access requests, identify production data in non-production locations, and other privacy, security, and data governance tasks.
Excellent. Okay, that's great. That's great. And I would like to dive in a little bit more, Arun, with you about, sustainable data discovery. Why do you think this is so important for organizations to implement, for enhancing, I think, business agility and dealing with all the regulatory nuances that we have to deal with right now?
A fantastic question there, Bruce. And as you know, there are challenges around people, process, and technology. It doesn't work having a great process without having best of all possible tools to support it or people who can deliver it. It's like a stool with two perfect legs. it can do the job it's supposed to do. I personally see three main challenges. Number one, there is a lack of understanding of what sensitive data exists and where within the organization, how it is used or processed, who it is shared with, and for what purpose, and how long it is needed. Number two, data leaders spend time and money on mandatory activities like regulatory compliance and incident response augmentation at scale. And last but not the least is inefficient data breach response. And the truth is that, Bruce, is that this large amount of data within an organization is unknown and is stored not just in structured databases. Critical data can be anywhere from files, end-user applications, emails, Google Docs, images, and the list goes on. I see this is where the risk lies, as it makes it very difficult for data guardians of an organization to locate and create an inventory of critical data to create a holistic view. So it's not just important to discover the sensitive data and its lineage, but to keep it up to date, to enhance capabilities, focus on ongoing administration, resource management, and scalability to support business agility. And by the way, that's the key. We have just announced a new solution, Supervised AI, to modify AI models on how to identify personal and sensitive information from the discovered data. And the best part is once we train the model, it constantly scans the environment and updates when a new system or a PAI is identified and continues to build up the inventory.
Excellent. Okay, well, Arun, I'm glad you brought that up. You're kind of leading us into our next question. And Mariya, I was hoping you could tackle this one, talking about, how do you use AI models to tune the platform, as well as what Arun was mentioning through supervised AI. What does that look like?
Hi, Bruce. Thank you for the question. Well, as far as you know, probably there are a lot of companies that are doing the data discovery and data audit, but all of them are using the different approaches, totally different. Major are using the manual techniques to configure the discovery process. For example, to enable discovery and at least start it, you will need to point all the repositories that needs to be scanned. Just imagine, it can be the thousands of them, and you need to point them manually, and only this small operation in pointing them can take weeks and months. And by the end of time when you will finish that, it already become irrelevant and outdated. But the reality is the following, that often information flow within the organization so fast that you may not know all the places where the data resides. We as a OneTouch deliver solutions that automatically scan personal data using context-sensitive machine learning to deep inspect applications, workstations, file shares, emails, databases, cloud storages, and real-time streams of informational transactions in order to identify risk and compliance. By the way, based on the latest research, companies with fewer than 1,000 employees, they run an average of 22 custom applications. And the largest enterprises with more than 50,000 employees run, it seems to me, like 788, so almost 800 applications on average. And all of these applications, they process, store, and share personal information, and every single piece of it can become the data breach origin. This also means that you wouldn't be able to track the appearance of all sources with personal information manually, even if you actually would like to. But I'm not sure that you would like to. By adding, this is like tough job. By adding a multi-layer machine learning analytic engine, we give the ability to read and understand the data and link all the pieces into a full picture represented as both PAI inventory and master catalog. Also in OneTouch, we are connecting structured and unstructured data sources and automatically discover and build relationship map between the personal data and its owner, actually PII, the specific person. All you need is to install the product, and then the data sources, repositories, file, and cloud systems will be detected automatically, and this is it. Starting from that point, you will have a constant monitoring and auditing tool for the personal information within your organization. And nowadays, it's really critical to have it for the following reasons. First one is a security perspective. You need to protect your users and people who are leaving their personal information to you, because you cannot protect what you are not aware of. And the second is the regulation compliance. If you cannot provide reports, you cannot be compliant, which is financially and reputationally risky to a company. Nowadays, we are building the unique tool that will enable non-data scientists to build, modify, and train AI models on how to identify personal and sensitive information. We want to give the flexibility because you can train the system based on already discovered results without any manual configuration in advance and from the scratch as well. This means you can build the discovery strategy for the personal information just in a couple of clicks instead of a couple of months, for example. The supervised AI will require the minimal user input to identify false positives and to convert PII candidates into PII. We are building the relationship map between personal data and its owner by this tool, and we are also adding the visibility on the personal information that was discovered for the user to be able to review and validate the sample of data of discovered results, which will bring you to more accurate and sufficient data discovery process within the whole organization. I already mentioned that the personal data changes with the time, and the new sources and types of personal information are added regularly. And the supervised AI tool, it can help you to identify that what appeared, even if you could not know about it. So you will be able easily add it to the discovery scheme and proceed with the new information to become a part of PII. If to simplify and talk about the application, the user will be able to review already discovered groups of candidates, adjust discovered results and configure the scanning scheme, convert discovered candidates into PIIs, and continue crawling with improved scheme all the time. And basically, by bringing this tool, we want to focus on providing 4 key benefits from using this tool to our customers. First one is the sustainability and flexibility to build discovery strategy based on already found results or from scratch, and doing it pretty quickly, like in a couple of clicks only. The second one is the scalability. It's more about the quick install procedure and big number of data sources supported. The third one is about simplicity. You can easily modify and review discovered results and configure the scanning scheme. And the fourth, but not the least actually, it's the speed and the accuracy with which you will provide the data discovery within the organization.
That's fantastic. That's really great, Mariya. And it's amazing when you talk about even small organizations have dozens of applications, but the enterprise could have several hundred or close to 1,000 applications. It's a challenge to get your arms around that much data.
And this is only about the application. And imagine how many repositories and the databases they have within the organization.
Mm-hmm. Totally. That is incredible. Okay, great. So you guys have done a fantastic job of kind of explaining some of the challenges that organizations face, and then now moving into at a high level how your services and products operate and help meet those challenges. Now, Arun, I'd like to ask you about some business use cases. So what are you seeing and hearing from security and privacy leaders?
So thanks for the question, Bruce. And I'm sure you'll agree, first and foremost, all organizations need to plan how they use data so it's handled consistently throughout the business to support business outcomes. This means that organizations need to consider the who, what, how, when, where, and why of data to not only ensure security and compliance, but to extract the value from all the information collected and stored across the business. And we are uncovering several use cases as we talk to many of these large organizations. The problems are real, involving large volumes of data. I know Mariya already alluded to it. And frankly, this is where our sweet spot is. And many organizations today have been lumbered with the task of moving data to data lakes, either on-premise or on cloud, leading to a lot of data duplication, merging legacy infrastructures, and the list goes on. In addition, some of the organizations we are talking to need granular visibility into the sensitive data to more selectively apply costly security controls. And some organizations are looking for better understanding of sensitive data for more leverage, that is adding specialized capabilities for land and expand with minimal to no impact on organizations' risk exposure. This includes and is not limited to new services, new offerings, expanded offerings, new markets, and of course, business intelligence.
Well, that is fantastic. And I really appreciate you, Arun and Mariya, for walking us through this topic because it's really crucial. We hear, just like you are, from security and privacy leaders that big data is big opportunity, but it's also a big challenge, right? And this is fantastic and how your solution fits in to help meet that challenge and maximize the opportunity. That's just really cool. So thank you both very much for being here today.
Thank you for having us, and pleasure talking to you, Bruce.
All right. So if you want more information, you'll see that in the show notes as well, how you can get in touch with OneTouchio. And thank you again, Arun and Mariya. And we'll catch you next time on our next Behind the Scenes interview series.